Open your bank statement and look for the little charges. A streaming service, cloud storage, a software plan, a delivery membership, maybe ink for your printer, maybe a connected feature in your car. Each one looks manageable. $10 here, $15 there. A few are so small they barely feel worth investigating. And that is the point. A subscription is not merely another way to pay for a product. It changes the relationship between you and the company. A normal purchase ends with a sale. A subscription begins with one. In a traditional one-time sale, a company had one main challenge: convince you to buy. You paid, the company received its money, and the transaction was mostly over. To earn more revenue from you, it had to bring you back and persuade you again. A subscription removes that reset button. Once you join, the company no longer has to win a completely new sale every month. It has to keep you from leaving. That sounds like a small distinction, but it changes almost everything. How products are priced, how features are packaged, how customer behavior is measured, and how much attention is paid to cancellation. From the company's side, the first major advantage is predictability. A one-time sale can be uneven. A customer may buy this month and disappear for 3 years. Recurring payments create a steadier stream that is easier to forecast. Adobe describes growing its recurring and predictable revenue stream as part of its business strategy. The company has also said that its subscription model makes its revenue and earnings relatively predictable. That does not make subscriptions suspicious. Predictability can support ongoing product development, infrastructure, maintenance, and customer service. A streaming library costs money to operate and license. Cloud software requires servers, security work, and updates. A service that keeps delivering value may reasonably require continuing payment. But predictability also changes what an individual customer is worth. With a one-time purchase, the price is the price. With a subscription, the important number is not only what you pay today, it is how long you stay. A $12 monthly plan is not merely $12. It becomes $144 after 1 year and $288 after 2. And that assumes the price never rises. The monthly number feels smaller because it is displayed beside 1 month of value, not the entire relationship. That lower entry price can be genuinely useful. Instead of paying hundreds of dollars up front, someone might access a tool for one project, test a service, or spread a necessary cost over time. It can also make the real commitment harder to see. Would I pay $12 this month? That is a much easier question than, do I want a $144 annual relationship with this company? Same calculator, very different mood. The second major advantage is automatic continuation. Many subscription plans use what regulators call a negative option. Unless the customer takes action, the agreement continues and another charge appears. The Federal Trade Commission acknowledges that these arrangements can reduce transaction costs and prevent interruptions in useful services. Nobody wants their cloud storage shutting down every 30 days because they forgot to press a continue button. But the same design creates an imbalance. The company remembers to charge you automatically. You must remember to judge the value manually. A 2025 study published in the American Economic Review analyzed subscription behavior using payment card data and models of consumer inertia. The researchers estimated that cancellation friction roughly doubled seller revenue, on average, for the subscriptions studied while holding the original subscriber base fixed. That does not mean every subscription company is secretly hoping you forget. It does mean that forgetting, postponing, or avoiding a mildly annoying cancellation process can have measurable economic value within subscription systems like those examined in the study. Think about the difference between joining and leaving. Joining usually happens while motivation is high. There is a show you want to watch, a project you need to finish, a product you need quickly, or a promotion that expires tonight. Cancellation happens later, when the original benefit feels less exciting and the task has become administrative housekeeping. Few people wake up energized to audit recurring charges. It is not exactly a theme park activity. This helps explain why subscriptions have moved far beyond magazines, gyms, and television. Adobe currently offers its creative applications through recurring plans. Amazon's Subscribe and Save program converts frequently purchased products into scheduled recurring deliveries. The customer selects a delivery cycle, and orders continue until the schedule is changed or the subscription is canceled. HP's Instant Ink plans are based on the number of pages printed rather than the number of cartridges purchased. The printer reports its ink levels, and HP sends subscription cartridges when more ink is needed. HP also states that customers can print with those subscription cartridges until the end of their final billing cycle after cancellation. To continue afterward, the customer must use regular replacement cartridges or restart the service. Tesla offers premium connectivity as a monthly or annual subscription. It provides cellular access to certain connectivity features in eligible vehicles. These are very different products, but they share the same transformation. The company is no longer selling only an object or a finished piece of software. It is selling continued access, replenishment, connectivity, convenience, support, or updates surrounding that product. Sometimes that creates a better experience. Amazon's recurring deliveries can save someone from repeatedly ordering the same essentials. HP can send ink before the printer runs out. Software subscriptions can provide continuing updates, online storage, and services that would not fit neatly inside a traditional boxed product. When the company keeps doing useful work, recurring payment can make sense. The problem begins when recurring payment becomes more reliable than recurring value. Streaming makes this especially visible. Deloitte's 2026 United States Digital Media Trends Survey reported that 90% of United States households had at least one paid streaming video subscription, with an average of 4 services. But 41% of surveyed consumers said they had canceled at least one paid streaming service during the previous 6 months. 22% said they had canceled a service and later returned to that same service during the period. That is not passive surrender. It is customers learning to rotate, subscribe for the show, cancel after the finale, return when something worthwhile appears. The customer is treating the subscription like a faucet instead of a tattoo. That may be the healthiest way to think about the entire category. A good subscription has 4 basic qualities. First, the company provides continuing value, not merely continuing access to something that was already completed. Second, the total cost is clear. Monthly pricing can be helpful, but the annual number reveals the true size of the commitment. Third, leaving is straightforward. The Federal Trade Commission warns that negative option arrangements can harm consumers when disclosures are inadequate, billing lacks informed consent, or cancellation is unnecessarily difficult. The Federal Trade Commission's broader 2024 click-to-cancel rule was later vacated. In March 2026, the agency began seeking public input as it considered possible new changes to its negative option rules. Fourth, the consequences of stopping should be obvious. Do your files become read-only? Does a physical device lose features? Do unused credits disappear? Can you replace the subscription with a normal purchase? Before starting another plan, ask 5 questions. What does this cost for a full year? What continuing value will I receive after the first month? What stops working when I stop paying? Can the price or included features change? And is leaving as easy as joining? You do not need to reject every subscription. You only need to recognize the relationship you are agreeing to. Because the real product is not always the movie, the software, the ink, or the connected feature. Sometimes the real product is the relationship itself. A small charge, repeated automatically, for as long as you remain. A subscription is not just a price. It is permission for a company to keep asking for your money every month without having to ask you again. Costly by Design explains the systems hiding inside everyday prices. Subscribe if you want to see what we uncover next.